Michael Torres stood in his empty Seattle apartment on a Friday night in January 2023, staring at his phone. 48 years old, divorced for 9 years, and alone again. His colleagues at the accounting firm had invited him to a birthday party downtown. He'd declined, like he always did. The divorce from Rebecca in 2014 had gutted him. She'd left for a younger man, a real estate developer, 33 years old, ambitious, charming, everything Michael wasn't. The split hadn't been about money. It had been about feeling invisible, unwanted, ordinary. His younger brother David had been pushing him for months. "Mike, you can't hide in that apartment forever. You're 48, not dead. Download one of those apps. Talk to people. Live a little." Michael had resisted. Online dating felt desperate, pathetic, like admitting defeat. But tonight, sitting on his worn leather couch with leftover Thai food and a show he wasn't watching, he finally gave in. He downloaded a platform called Heartbridge, created a profile, uploaded 3 photos, one from David's wedding, one from a company retreat, one selfie he took right there, trying to look confident. He didn't. He looked tired, middle-aged, unremarkable. His bio read, "Accountant from Seattle. Love hiking, jazz, and meaningful conversations. Looking for someone genuine who sees beyond the surface." He hit submit and started scrolling. Most profiles were younger women, beautiful, clearly out of his range. He swiped mechanically, expecting nothing. Then he saw her, Valentina Cruz, 40 years old, graphic designer, Kingston, Jamaica. Her photo showed a striking face, warm brown skin, bright eyes, an infectious smile. Her bio said, "Believer in second chances, deep conversations, and finding magic in unexpected places. Looking for someone who values authenticity over appearances." Something about her words felt honest, raw. Michael swiped right, bracing for rejection. Match. His pulse quickened. She'd swiped right too. He stared at the screen, unsure what to do. After 5 minutes, he typed a message, deleted it, typed again. "Hi Valentina, I'm Michael. Your profile stood out to me, not just because you're beautiful, but because your words felt real. I'd love to talk if you're interested." He hit send, waited. 10 minutes passed. Then, "Hi Michael, thank you, that's kind. I'd love to talk too. Tell me, what's the last thing that made you genuinely smile?" Michael smiled, typing his response. This felt different already. January through March 2023 became a blur of messages. Morning texts from Valentina. "Good morning, hope today brings you something beautiful." Evening conversations that stretched past midnight. They talked about everything: work, family, dreams, regrets, failures. Valentina told him about growing up in Kingston, losing her mother young, being raised by her grandmother, struggling to build a design career, working with international clients, staying independent despite hardships. She spoke about past relationships that had wounded her, men who'd misunderstood her, abandoned her, failed to see who she truly was. "I've learned to protect my heart," she texted one night, "but I'm exhausted from protecting it. I want to trust someone again." Michael understood completely. He'd built walls too, thick ones, and for the first time in years he felt them cracking. "I feel the same way," he replied. "I'm tired of being careful. I want to feel something real again." Valentina responded, "Then let's be real together. No games, no masks, just us." In March, they started video chatting nightly, 9 p.m. Seattle time, midnight Kingston time. Michael would sit at his kitchen table, laptop open, and Valentina would appear on screen, sitting at her desk, camera angled to show her face and shoulders. She was even more beautiful in motion. Her laugh, the way her eyes sparkled when discussing her design projects, the warmth in her voice. Michael found himself falling. They talked for hours about life, love, fears, hopes. One night, Valentina asked him, "Michael, what do you really want from life, from love?" He thought carefully. "I want someone who sees me. Not my age, not my job, not what I can provide financially. Just me. I want to be enough for someone exactly as I am." Valentina's expression softened. "You are enough, Michael. Please believe that." He wanted to believe her. April arrived and Valentina began expressing deeper feelings. I was thinking about you today. You make me feel safe. I'm so grateful I found you. Michael reciprocated. You're the best part of my day. I don't know what I did to deserve meeting you. One evening in late April, Valentina said it clearly. Michael, I love you. I know it's only been a few months. I know we haven't met face to face, but I feel it deeply. I love you. Michael's throat tightened with emotion. I love you too, Valentina. I've loved you for weeks but was scared to say it. She cried, happy tears streaming down her face. I never thought I'd hear those words again. Thank you for seeing me. May through August brought 4 more months of deepening connection. They discussed meeting in person. Valentina lived in Jamaica, Michael in Seattle. Long distance was challenging, but they made it work. Michael started planning. He'd fly to Kingston, spend a week, see if their connection translated to physical proximity. Valentina seemed nervous. What if it's different when we meet? She asked one night. What if you don't feel the same about me? Michael laughed gently. Valentina, I've fallen in love with who you are inside. Your heart, your mind, your soul, that won't change when we meet. Valentina went quiet. Michael noticed. What's wrong? Nothing. I just hope you mean that. I do, I promise. But Valentina looked unconvinced. She wanted to tell him something important, something she'd been hiding, something about her past, about her truth. She wanted to be completely honest before he flew thousands of miles. But she was terrified. What if he rejected her? What if he walked away like others had? She couldn't risk losing him, not yet. So she stayed silent, praying he'd understand when the time came, praying his love was strong enough. August 30th, Michael booked his flight, September 16th through 23rd, 1 week in Jamaica. He told Valentina, and she cried. I can't wait to meet you, she said, voice shaking. Michael assumed it was excitement and nerves. He didn't realize it was fear. 5 days before his departure, David came over, concerned. Mike, are you sure about this? You've never met her in person. What if she's not who she says? Michael smiled confidently. I know her, David. We've talked for 8 months. I love her. David frowned. Have you video chatted? Every night. Full body or just face? Michael paused. Just face and shoulders. Why does that matter? David shook his head. I don't know, man. Just be careful. People hide things online. Michael dismissed it. Valentina's not hiding anything. She's honest. I trust her completely. But David's words lingered. What if Valentina was hiding something? He pushed the thought away. September 16th was 5 days away. He'd know soon enough. The night before his flight, Valentina sent a message. Michael, I need to tell you something before you come. His heart stopped. What is it? 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Then, never mind. I'll tell you when I see you face to face. I love you. Michael stared at the message, uneasy. I love you too. See you tomorrow. He went to bed but couldn't sleep. What did she need to tell him? September 16th, 2023. 6:47 a.m. Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Michael checked in, moved through security, found his gate. Flight to Kingston departing at 8:30. He sat waiting, hands sweating, heart racing. 8 months of phone calls, video chats, text messages, all leading to this moment. He'd see Valentina in person, touch her, hold her, make everything real. His phone buzzed. Text from David. Safe travels. Be smart. Call me when you land. He replied, Will do. Stop worrying. Another text from Valentina. I can't wait to see you. I'm so nervous. Michael smiled, typed back, Me too, but it's going to be perfect. Valentina didn't respond immediately. Then, I hope so. Michael frowned. Something in her tone felt off, but he dismissed it. Pre-meeting jitters. Normal. 2:53 p.m. Norman Manley International Airport, Kingston. The plane touched down. Michael grabbed his bag, walked through customs, slow and humid. He emerged into arrivals, scanning the crowd for Valentina. His heart pounded violently. Then he saw her standing near the barrier, yellow dress, bright smile, beautiful face. But something felt different. Her shoulders seemed broader than he remembered from video. Her hands looked larger. He blinked, confused. She waved and started walking toward him. As she got closer, Michael noticed more details. Her height, nearly his own at 5'9". Her jawline, more angular than he'd perceived on camera. Her voice, when she spoke, had a subtle depth he hadn't registered through laptop speakers. "Hi, Michael. It's me, Valentina." His smile froze. His stomach dropped. Reality crashed into him like a physical blow. She was transgender. He knew it instantly, instinctively. All the pieces fell into place, the careful camera angles, the nervousness, the things she'd wanted to tell him. Michael's face changed. He couldn't control it. The shock, the confusion. Valentina saw it immediately. Her smile faded. Her eyes filled with pain. She'd seen this look before many times. "I should have told you," she said quietly. "I know. I'm sorry. I was terrified you wouldn't come if you knew." Michael stammered. "Hey, wow, you're here." Awkward pause. He hugged her stiffly, mechanically. She pulled back quickly, tears threatening to spill. "Let's get your bags," Valentina said, voice shaking, trying to maintain composure. They walked to baggage claim in silence. Michael's mind screamed. Why didn't she tell me? 8 months. 8 months of falling in love, and she hid this. He felt betrayed, deceived, angry, but also guilty, because part of him knew he was being unfair, judgmental about something she couldn't change, something that shouldn't matter if he truly loved her. 3:12 p.m. Valentina's car, a small blue Honda. She drove. Michael sat passenger side, staring out the window, not speaking. Valentina tried. "How was your flight?" "Fine." "Are you hungry? We could stop somewhere." "I'm okay." "Michael, please say something." He turned to her, voice sharper than intended. "What do you want me to say, Valentina?" She flinched. "I want you to say what you're thinking because I can see it on your face. You're upset." Michael looked away. "I'm not upset." "Yes, you are. And I understand. I should have told you. I tried so many times, but I got scared. Because this always happens. People see me and they leave. Every single time." Her voice cracked. "I thought maybe if you fell in love with me first, with who I am inside, then maybe you'd see past this. Maybe you'd understand that I'm still the same person you've been talking to for 8 months. Michael stayed quiet. Valentina wiped her eyes. "I'm sorry I wasted your time and money. If you want to go back to the airport right now, I'll take you. No hard feelings." Michael didn't respond. He didn't know what he wanted. 3:47 p.m. The Courtly Hotel, New Kingston. Valentina pulled up outside. "This is your hotel. I figured you'd want space." Michael nodded. "Yeah, thanks." He got out, grabbed his bag. Valentina rolled down the window. "Michael, I meant what I said. If you want to leave, I understand completely. But if you want to stay, if you want to give this a chance, I'll be at my apartment. I'll text you the address. The choice is yours." She drove away. Michael stood there watching her disappear, feeling confused, guilty, angry, trapped. He checked into the hotel, room 412, small, clean, air-conditioned. He dropped his bag, sat on the bed, stared at the wall blankly. What was he supposed to do now? 5:23 p.m. Michael's hotel room. He hadn't left, hadn't eaten, just sat there thinking. His phone buzzed. Text from David. "Did you land? How is she?" Michael stared at the message. How was she? Beautiful, kind, and transgender. He didn't respond. Another text from Valentina. "I know you're probably thinking about leaving, I don't blame you. But I want you to know the person you fell in love with over the phone, that's really me. My past doesn't change my heart. It doesn't change how much I love you. I understand if this is too much, but I hope you'll at least give me a chance to show you I'm still the same Valentina you've been talking to for 8 months. Michael read it 3 times. She was right. The person he'd fallen in love with, her laugh, her kindness, her vulnerability, That was real. But he couldn't get past this revelation. He'd imagined holding her, kissing her, building a life together. And now everything felt impossible, wrong, confusing. He put the phone down, decided to shower, clear his head. 7:04 p.m. Michael stood in front of the bathroom mirror, shirtless, looking at himself critically. 48 years old, graying hair, receding hairline, stomach hanging over his belt, stretch marks, age spots. He wasn't attractive by any standard. Yet Valentina had fallen in love with him, sight unseen initially. She'd listened to his voice, heard his stories, seen his heart, and loved him anyway. And what had he done? Judged her, rejected her for something in her past, something that took immense courage to live through. He thought about Rebecca, his ex-wife. She'd left him for someone younger, fitter, more successful. It had destroyed him emotionally. And now he was doing something similar to Valentina. The hypocrisy hit him hard. He sat on the edge of the tub, put his head in his hands. What kind of man was he? 8:41 p.m. Michael lay in bed staring at the ceiling. His phone buzzed. Another text from Valentina. I'm not going to bother you anymore. I just wanted to say thank you for coming, even if it didn't work out. At least I got to meet you face to face. At least I got to see you in person. That's more than I expected. I hope you have a safe trip home tomorrow, and I hope you find what you're looking for. Michael's chest tightened painfully. She was letting him go gracefully, with dignity. No begging, no guilt trip, just acceptance. And somehow that made it worse. He typed, deleted, typed again, deleted again. Finally, Valentina, I'm sorry, I need time to think. Can we meet tomorrow? Just talk? 3 dots appeared. Of course. I'll be here. Michael put the phone down, closed his eyes, tried to sleep. But his mind wouldn't stop. He kept seeing her face the moment she saw his disappointment, the hurt in her eyes, the way she'd apologized for being herself. And he hated himself for it. September 17th, 6:32 a.m. Michael woke up, hadn't slept well, tossed and turned, dreamed unsettling dreams. In one dream, he was at the airport leaving. Valentina was there watching him go, crying silently. He woke up sweating, guilty. He looked at his phone. Flight home wasn't until September 23rd. 6 more days. He'd paid for a week, non-refundable. He could leave early, pay the change fee, go home, forget this happened. Or he could stay, give her a chance, give himself a chance to understand. He sat up, made a decision. He wasn't leaving, not yet. He owed her that much. He texted Valentina. Can I see you today? Your place? She responded immediately. Yes, I'll send you the address. Michael showered, dressed, left the hotel, nervous and unsure, but willing to try. 9:14 a.m. Valentina's apartment, small, modest, but clean, decorated with her design work on the walls. She opened the door wearing jeans and a simple top, hair pulled back, minimal makeup. She looked beautiful and vulnerable. Michael stepped inside. Hi, awkward silence. Then Valentina spoke. Thank you for coming. I know this is hard, but I want you to know I'm still me. The woman you talk to every night. The woman who made you laugh, who listened to you, who loved you. I'm still her, Michael. He nodded slowly. I know. I just need to process this. I need to understand. I understand. Sit down. Let me explain everything. They sat in Valentina's living room for 2 hours. Michael on the couch, Valentina in a chair across from him, safe distance between them. She told him everything. About growing up feeling different, wrong in her own body. About the confusion, the shame, the years of hiding. About finally understanding at 19 that she was transgender. About the courage it took to transition at 22. About the surgeries, the hormone therapy, the legal battles to change her documents. About losing friends, facing discrimination, being rejected by family members who couldn't understand. People don't see me as a woman, she said quietly. They see me as something else, something broken, something to pity or mock. I've had relationships, a few, but they never last. Men either fetishize me, treat me like an experiment, or they're ashamed to be seen with me publicly. Either way, I'm not really a person to them." Her voice cracked. "That's why I didn't tell you. Because for the first time in my life, someone saw me as just a woman. Not a trans woman, just a woman, and I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to lose you." Michael's throat tightened. "You didn't lose me, Valentina." She looked at him, tears streaming. "Didn't I? You can barely look at me. You sit across the room instead of next to me. You're uncomfortable, I can feel it." Michael wanted to deny it, but couldn't. She was right. He was uncomfortable, not with her personality or heart, but with this new reality he hadn't prepared for. "I'm trying," Michael admitted. "I really am. I just need time to adjust." Valentina nodded. "I understand. But Michael, I need you to be honest with me. If you can't do this, if this is too much, tell me now. Don't drag it out. Don't give me false hope." Michael looked at her, really looked. Her face was beautiful, her eyes were kind. Her smile, even through pain, was genuine. Everything he'd fallen in love with was still there. But this revelation changed things, didn't it? "I don't know," he admitted honestly. "I want to say yes, I want to say I can do this, but I'm not sure if I can." Valentina stood. "Then maybe you should go back to the hotel. Think about it seriously, and when you know for certain, let me know." Michael stood too. "Valentina." "It's okay, Michael. I'm not angry. I'm just tired. Tired of hoping someone will see past my history. Tired of being disappointed. So please just go, and when you're ready to give me an answer, I'll be here." Michael left, walked out into the Jamaican heat, got a taxi, went back to the hotel, feeling guilty, confused, ashamed. 2:17 p.m., the hotel room. He lay on the bed staring at the ceiling. His phone rang. David calling. He answered. "Hey. Hey, how's Jamaica? How's Valentina?" Michael hesitated. "She's not what I expected." "What do you mean?" "She's transgender, David. She transitioned years ago, and she didn't tell me until I got here." Silence. Then, "And she didn't tell you beforehand?" "No, she was scared I wouldn't come." David sighed. "Well, she was right, wasn't she? You're sitting in a hotel room second-guessing everything instead of being with her." Michael frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means you need to figure out what matters more, who she was or who she is. Because the woman you fell in love with for 8 months is still the same person, Mike. Her past doesn't change that." Michael didn't respond. David continued. "Let me ask you something. Did you love her before you met her?" "Yes." "And now that you've met her, is she the same person in terms of personality, heart, character?" "Yes." "And what's the problem? Her history, something she went through years ago, or is it your pride? Your fear of what people will think?" Michael bristled. "It's not about pride, isn't it? You're worried about judgment, about explaining this to people, about whether you can be with someone who's transgender. That's pride and fear, Mike." David's voice softened. "If you let that ruin this, you're making a mistake. She loves you. You love her. That should be enough." He hung up. Michael stared at the phone, angry but knowing David was right. 5:46 p.m. Michael went for a walk. New Kingston streets, busy, cars honking, people everywhere. He passed couples holding hands, laughing, happy. He thought about Valentina, about the way she'd looked at him with love and hope, and how he'd crushed it. He passed a bar, stopped, went inside, ordered a beer, sat alone thinking. 7:03 p.m. The bartender, a woman in her 30s, noticed him. "You look troubled, friend." Michael nodded. "Woman problems," she smiled. "Aren't they all? What happened?" Michael hesitated, then told her everything. The online relationship, the trip to Jamaica, the discovery, his confusion. The bartender listened carefully. When he finished, she said, "Let me ask you something. If you close your eyes and think about her, what do you feel?" Michael closed his eyes, thought about Valentina. Her laugh, her voice, the way she said his name, the way she made him feel seen, valued, loved, understood. "I feel happy," he admitted. "Then open your eyes." What do you see? Michael opened his eyes. I see complications. The stares, the judgment, the difficulty explaining this to people. The bartender nodded. Life is full of complications. Every relationship has them. The question is, are those complications worth it? Is she worth it? Michael didn't answer immediately. The bartender wiped down the bar. I'll tell you this, my husband is wonderful, but he's also a recovering addict. 5 years sober now. But getting there was hell. I could have left many times. I didn't, because when I closed my eyes and thought about him, I felt happy. And that was worth fighting for. She looked at Michael directly. So ask yourself, is Valentina worth fighting for, or are you going to let fear and prejudice steal your happiness? Michael paid, left, walked back to the hotel thinking deeply. 9:34 p.m., his hotel room. He sat on the bed, phone in hand, staring at Valentina's last text. When you're ready to give me an answer, I'll be here. He wanted to text her, to say something meaningful. But what? He didn't have a clear answer yet. He lay down, closed his eyes, thought about Valentina. Her smile, her kindness, her strength, her courage to be herself despite everything. And he felt something shift, not confusion, not doubt, but clarity. Fear was holding him back. Fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, fear of stepping outside social norms. But if he walked away, he'd regret it forever. If he stayed and tried, maybe it wouldn't work, but at least he'd know he fought for something real. He opened his eyes, made a decision. Tomorrow he'd see Valentina, and he'd try, genuinely try, to see past his prejudices and fear. September 18th, 8:42 a.m. Michael woke up, showered, dressed, left the hotel, headed to Valentina's apartment, nervous but determined. He knocked. She opened the door, surprised. Michael. Hi, can I come in? Of course. They sat down. Michael took a breath. Valentina, I've been thinking constantly about you, about us, about everything, and I need to be honest with you. Valentina's face fell, bracing for rejection. I was shocked when I first saw you, Michael admitted. Not because of who you are, but because you weren't what I expected. And that's on me. My assumptions, my narrow thinking, my prejudices. He looked at her directly. But the truth is, I fell in love with you 8 months ago before I ever saw your face. I fell in love with your heart, your humor, your kindness, your authenticity, and that hasn't changed. You're still the same woman I fell in love with. I'm just struggling to reconcile my expectations with reality. Valentina's eyes filled with tears. So, what are you saying? I'm saying I want to try. I want to spend this week with you, really get to know you in person, without distance or screens, and see if what we have is as real as I believe it is. Valentina wiped her eyes. And if it's not, then at least we tried honestly. But I think it is real. I just need to get past my own issues and fears. Valentina smiled, small but hopeful. Okay, let's try. September 18th through 22nd. 5 days that changed everything. Michael and Valentina spent every moment together, rebuilding what fear had nearly destroyed. They visited Devon House for breakfast, walked through Emancipation Park talking like they had online, easy and natural. They went to Coronation Market where vendors greeted Valentina warmly. Faith, you bring your man today, an older woman called out. Valentina blushed. Yes, Miss Pat, this is Michael from America. Miss Pat grinned. He's a good one. Hold on to him, girl. Michael felt it then, the shift. Valentina wasn't hiding. She lived openly, authentically, respected by her community. They bought fresh fruit, made smoothies at her apartment, sat on her balcony overlooking Kingston, talking for hours. Michael watched her move through her space confidently, independent, strong. She'd built a life despite discrimination, despite rejection, despite everything, and he admired that courage deeply. September 19th, they went to Hellshire Beach. White sand, turquoise water, hot sun. Valentina wore a simple swimsuit, comfortable in her skin. Michael noticed some stares, some whispers. Valentina saw him noticing. It's okay, Michael. I'm used to it. It's not okay. It is, because I've learned something important. People will judge no matter what I do. I can hide or I can live. I choose to live fully. Michael admired that philosophy. They swam, splashed each other, laughed like children. For hours, nothing else mattered. Not the stairs, not the past, not the doubts. Just them, happy, free, together. That evening, they returned to her apartment, ordered takeout, watched a movie. Halfway through, Valentina leaned against Michael. He put his arm around her. She fit perfectly against his chest. Michael kissed the top of her head. Valentina looked up, their eyes met. Michael leaned down, kissed her softly, gently. She kissed him back. Everything fell into place. September 20th, Michael woke up on Valentina's couch. She was making coffee in the kitchen, humming. He watched her, realizing something profound. He loved her. Not despite her past, not in spite of her history. He just loved her. Completely. All of her. She turned, saw him watching, smiled. Morning. Morning. She brought him coffee, sat beside him. What are you thinking about? Michael looked at her seriously. I'm thinking about how 8 months ago I was alone, miserable, convinced I'd never find love again. And then I found you, and you've shown me what real love looks like. Not based on expectations or appearances or conforming to norms. Just connection, soul to soul. Valentina's eyes filled with tears. Michael, I love you so much. I love you too, Valentina. More than I thought possible. They spent his last 2 days planning the future. Long distance initially, then visits, eventually one of them relocating. Michael's company allowed remote work. He could move to Jamaica, be with Valentina, build a life together. September 22nd, their last evening, they had dinner at a restaurant overlooking Kingston Harbor. Candlelit, romantic, perfect. Michael reached across the table, took her hand. Valentina, I don't want to go back to Seattle and do long distance for months. I want to be with you now. Valentina's breath caught. What are you saying? I'm saying I'll start the process to move here. I'll work remotely, find an apartment, or we can find a place together. I'm not losing you. Not after finding you. Valentina cried openly. You'd really do that? Leave everything? Everything I need is right here, Michael said, squeezing her hand. September 23rd, airport departure. But Michael had changed his flight, extended another week. He'd called his boss, requested remote work permanently, approved conditionally. He'd call David later, explain everything. Right now, he stood in Valentina's apartment, holding her, both of them crying happy tears. Thank you for seeing me, Valentina whispered. Thank you for being patient with me, Michael replied. Thank you for being brave enough to be yourself. They'd figure out the details, the logistics, the complications, but they'd do it together, because love wasn't about finding someone perfect. It was about finding someone real, someone worth fighting for, someone who made you want to be better. Michael had found that in Valentina, and he wasn't letting go.